Hello everybody, Andrew Blake from the digitalaudiomanual.com. Today let's talk about rhythmic notation in Cubase. But before we start, I want to remind you that there's a link below to the free content navigation guide, which is an easy to navigate web page with links to all the content on this channel. And besides that, in the near future I'm going to begin adding tips and other bits of information that will only be available there. You know, things like simple steps that will get you started and up and running quick. Things that are in the videos but are written down in simple steps that serve as quick reminders when you need information down the road. If you're working with programs like Wavelab or Cubase Plugins or the Cable Guys Shaperbox and many other projects that are in the works, then I know you're going to find, just like I have, that this is an invaluable study aid. And the other thing I want to make sure you understand is that this is not a simple PDF. This is a constantly updated page that has any information that is new, or anytime videos are changed, really anything updated. And once you have it, you will always have the latest information constantly updated. So if you haven't gotten it already, go to the link below, click on it, and save it to your favorites. It's my gift to you, and it's absolutely free. Okay, so let's get started. So we've been going through all the different topics in the score for many videos now. And of course, all those previous videos are always in the navigation guide in the link below. But today, let's talk about rhythmic notation. And what is rhythmic notation? If you look at the score we have in front of us, this is an example of rhythmic notation. What's happening here is we have a full score in terms of lots of notes going on. Let me play this. But the only thing it's showing is the rhythm of each one of the notes, or the rhythm of each one of the chords, or the rhythm of each one of the drum beats. The actual notes are being kind of disguised behind this rhythmic notation. One way this is used is if you have a conductor, and then he can just basically follow along really quickly and see where we are at in the score, but he doesn't necessarily have to see all the different intricacies of what the score is doing. Or anytime somebody just needs some kind of rough outline of the score, this rhythmic notation does a great job of that. Now let's talk about how we get to this point. So here we are back to the regular score. And it's a fairly simple process to change any of this stuff to where you see just the rhythms. Let's go to the chords, for example. First, I want to make it an active staff by clicking in front of it. Make sure my little blue bar shows up here. Then if I go up to my scores and come down the menu, there's actually an option that says rhythmic notation. And if I go to the very first option that says show rhythmic notation and click it, immediately those chords are hidden and the only thing left is the rhythm. And the other thing about it is you can pretty much mix and match it however you want. For example, right now I still have regular notes up here on the top, but I have rhythmic notation in the middle. But if I want to change that and make a selection here, go back up to scores, come down to rhythmic notation, and say show the rhythmic notation, then immediately those notes are changed into the rhythmic notation. Now this doesn't affect the playback in any way, it's only a display option. And then the reverse is true. If I want to change this back to just regular notation, I make sure that bar is selected, whatever I want to change. Go back up to my scores, come down to the rhythmic notation option, but this time I go to the one that says show the regular notation. And immediately everything changes right back to its original notes. And then if you need some kind of extra visual on where these rhythmic notations are, if you go up into this quick view bar, you have an option that says cut rhythm. About 3 options over. If I turn this on or check it, then anything that has the rhythmic notation also gets this wording that says rhythmic bar. And then, of course, if you want to turn it off, uncheck it. Even if this is checked and you print this thing that says rhythmic bar won't print. You have some really good ways in terms of hiding these rhythmic notations where you don't have to delete them, but you can get them out of view by select all these notes in this bar. And then I go back up to scores, rhythmic notation. There's an option that says clear the bar. If I hit that, then all those notes go out of view. Now those notes are still here in terms of playing them. If you want to bring them back into view, once again, go back up to this option on the toolbar that says cut rhythm, and the rhythmic bar option will show up even though there's no notes here. Then you can right click on this rhythmic bar option and pick the option that says show the rhythmic notation, and then everything comes right back into view. So then sometimes you have a chord progression or a riff or something that just keeps repeating over and over again. In this example, I just have this B minor chord. And I don't want to see this notation over and over again because I know it's just the same pattern repeated. So I'm going to make some changes. First of all, let's put it into the rhythmic notation. Go up to scores, rhythmic notation, and then show rhythmic notation. And then I can select every note by hitting the first one, holding shift and double clicking it. Selects every note here. And then I'm going to unselect these first 3. I'm going to hold control and click on them. So what I want is I want the rest of these to just be basically repeat signs. So once again, if I go up to the scores, down to my rhythmic notation, then I have an option that says show the bar repeat sign. If I click on that, that just cleans it right up. And then I have a simple pattern one time, and all the rest are shown as just repeat signs, letting me know that I just have to make the same rhythm over and over again all these different times. Anytime I want to reveal what I've already had and bring the hidden stuff out, go back up to my cut rhythm option and select it, which then shows these rhythmic bar words. I just right click on any one of them, go back to show the rhythmic notation, or I can control click all of them and then say show rhythmic notation. And just like that, I get them all back into view. And then I can uncheck this cut rhythm option. So the rhythmic notation is a great option when you want to just show some basic stuff. Keep it simple for you or anybody else that needs to just follow the basic elements of the score. All right, it's going to wrap it up for today. As always, be sure to grab your navigation guide from the link below this video. Gives you quick, easy access to all the content on the channel, ever growing and free to use. Content is in order, updated continually. It's there to make your life easier, make my life easier. And as you're going to see, it's going to have news and links to anything that's happening. And that's all there is to the rhythmic notation. Pretty straightforward on that bit of information. We saw how to change the notes to rhythmic notation or the rhythmic back to the notes. We saw how to hide and show them or repeat the bar signs. That's a great option just in itself. The next topic we're going to cover is a bit about how Cubase translates to the score. Should be an interesting bit of information, and I'm looking forward to breaking that down. As always, it's great to have you guys here, and I'll see you on the next video.